Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done any video. Just call me Ron for now. Check it out. What I'm going to show you is something we're not really talking about. The condition of constant death of blacks at the hands of people. All right, check this out.
Officers have been identified. Tonight, we're learning more about their history with the Minneapolis Police Department. Our Jennifer Merrily joins us live with that part of the story. Jen?
Frank, we've learned two of the officers were newer to the force with just a few years of experience. But it was the most veteran officer on the scene that was in direct contact with George Floyd. Alvin is the former officer in the video seen around the world with his knee on George Floyd's neck. He'd been with Minneapolis police for 19 years. Two Tao is standing, facing the people
You get an Asian here.
watching, who are calling on the officers to help Floyd.
And you got a white officer here. Okay, 400 million slaves died and 79 million Indians. And you're wondering why the hate towards these blacks.
Originally hired by the city in 2008. WC.
All right, so let's fast forward this. We're seeing a condition. Why did Marcus Garvey want us to get out of here? At least some of us.
For a second date, protesters showed up at Derek Chauvin's Oakdale home.
Boom. This is what I want to talk about. Neanderthal human interbreeding. What the hell? Ron, you must be crazy. Oh, you taking this for a joke? Mm-hmm. Nah, this stuff doesn't faze me anymore. Death of blacks does not faze me anymore. Why? Because I went to Africa and I saw something, and we've studied history, and we see a continual systematic challenge. Fighting for equality. What does that mean? Human equality. Neanderthal human interbreeding. Now, how are we going to fight for equality when most of us are not equal? What I'm saying here to black man and black woman, arm yourself with cameras in your car, create a necklace with 3 portable cameras, and have these 3 cameras stream live to different Facebook and Instagram pages when you travel among these species. Protect your family. Video, know the law, arm yourself if you can, learn how to fire a gun. Protect yourself. Be alert. When interfacing with law enforcement, know your rights. Start to study your rights. Create a card in your car and stick it on your dashboard. Follow those rules. Show them the law. Print it out. Or get your ass out of these places and start to build a new life in Africa. Get out. And this is why you have to do all that I just said. This is why you have to do that. You have to either get the hell away from these people because they're not fully human beings. The history of interbreeding, early modern humans, Denisovans, right, and Neanderthal all interbred with each other on multiple occasions in the past 100 years. But when you look at this chart, and I want the smart people do some more research on this. Dr. Africa spoke about this. Why are they killing us without remorse? And all we get is an apology. Why do they lock up so many African Americans in prison for 40 years? And we get an apology. That's all we get. We're sorry. The Democrats, Bill Clinton, 3 strikes, you're out. We're sorry we destroyed your family. 400 million slaves. Hey, it's what it is. We're sorry. Keep moving. Let's march again and have a little protest and fight for equality. When you keep fighting for something and you notice it's not happening, you have to look deeper. And I started to look deeper and deeper. I created something called genetic karmatic reaction. And what that is it's okay, I'm back. So genetic karmatic reaction. All right, could it be after the Neanderthal and the humans interbred, the 4% of the Neanderthal mix that's in some of these humans, it activates somehow when they see black skin, and the Asians. Now look at the path of the African. The African has one thing in common: the shade of their skin. Now let's just say that, we have a mixture, but the shade of our skin is a visual identifier. What if the genes, the genetics, the memory, now the humans interbred. So we know that Asians, Europeans have, some of them, most of them have this different mixture. What if these genes are remembering it's a survival? They want to survive. That part of their genes that's not like us. Because when they see us, they see humans. They themselves are not fully humans. When you see the black skin, it denotes human beings, original human beings, facts. When you see the lighter skin, it denotes a mixture of different species. Now, the smart people will get deeper into this, do some study. Search Google for that. Neanderthal human interbreeding, and do some more study. And you guys will write books about this so we could clear up this. It's not a racial issue. It's a genetic issue. This is genetic survival. This is genetic competition. We happen to be identified clearly as humans. And that's the problem. We become the enemy of all different shades, genes. So we've been targeted for destruction by everyone to a certain extent. And you see it throughout history. We have to get to the meat of this and stop bullshitting ourselves about equality. Half of us should have been to Africa by now. I speak clearly to the African American man. Stop punking out. You've had your credit card. Get to Africa. Start building. Get to the Caribbeans. Half of you need to stay in America, and half of you need to get out. You have to have a balance. Garvey came, he told you, get out. You took too long. Africa is not what they showed us, and that's for a reason why they didn't want us to leave this place. We have been here as their slaves, their prisoners. They moved from the suburbs to work in the inner city, to imprison us. The inequality is vast. The agenda was already set in place. From the Berlin Conference to the conquering of South Africa, they knew that they were different. It was us, some of us, who did not know this. So few of us, like Mandela, the Obama, and even the Bob Marley effect, one love. screw one love. You can't have one love with people who will never love you. We keep asking for love. What love got to do with this shit? Love ain't got to do shit with this. It's about genetics. It's about survival. It's about competition. It's about the species. The African is different. The African is different, and you are identified by your skin. One love. Let's get together and feel all right. Integration has caused us a lot of pain. We've made a lot of progress. But in this time, we have to look at things for what it is. If we continue on a spiral and see no change, it becomes insanity. We breed our children and we bring them into the same insanity. So if we don't start look at the other cultures for what they are and for us for what we are, and arm ourselves, protect ourselves legally, and get ready for this new world. This is what I want to bring you to. Now look at the difference here. Pay attention. The chart speaks for itself. The Neanderthal mix, right about here. So most of these people, they have varying different blood mix, right? Genetic memory is something you should study. It makes you remember post-slave traumatic disorder. It runs in the next generation. Pain is something that the blood remember. Now, these San people and some of the people in Africa, when I went to Botswana, you could feel the difference in humanity. Now, I'm no scholar, but I observe. In all the histories there, something is different. Australia, the conquerors came. What did they do to the indigenous people? The Africans that were already in America, indigenous. The Caribbean, indigenous. The books that they've written. A bigger plan is being acted here, a bigger agenda. So we have to really ask ourselves, what does equality mean and what does it look like? All these deaths of our brothers, lynching, a constant imprisonment of African Americans, the destruction of these humans are these black-like people, viruses being brought to Africa, all of this. Why? Why are they doing this? Because they want to eliminate the human race. The human race is the black race. Everything else is not fully human. In the Congo, there's a group of people, when you mate with them, they reverse the genetics. So this is genetic warfare. It's been that way. Okay? And we have to see it for what it is. We can't allow our children not to know this. This is why they didn't want us to stay with our African sisters. Because if we stay with our own kind, we would become stronger. If we mixed, we become part of that mixture. And the more we stay with our African women, it is the longer the human race will continue. It's a war, people. It's a genetic war. It starts with the genetic somehow triggering the emotions, the decision, because this you need some more deeper answer as to what's going on to prepare yourself for the future and your children. It's very important that you prepare your children for the future to come. And if you keep living blindly as what's going on in the world. Now let's take a look at this. 60 to 70,000 years ago, some human ancestors leave Africa. Boom. Okay. 50 to 52 years ago, Neanderthal and human right around here. So let's say it started here, the interbreeding, 350,000 years ago, Neanderthal and Denisovan, sorry, I can't read well, ancestors leave Africa and migrated through Eurasia. 350,000 years ago, Neanderthal. Holy crap. This makes no sense. Leave Africa. Okay. So 350 years ago, these Neanderthal and Denisovan left. So let's say some of them were still in Africa. And remember, I'm no expert. So what we find here is that we all have this there's a commonality here, right? But somehow there's a separation here. In my genes, there's not enough Neanderthal. But something's going on here. So they left, and right around here, they start to interbreed. And they're traveling. Boom, Europe. See right here? This is when most of these Europeans start to be different genetically. And the Asians. Boom. Boom. And here we go. So, African origins of human species. Yes. So, research probing the link between you as us and the extended cousin. Early humans, Eastern Neanderthal, around 100,000 years ago. Genome of a female Neanderthal showed up in sections of human DNA. Number 1 is early human. Look at number 1. Early human and Eastern Neanderthal around 100,000 years ago. So in Africa, early human, something showed up. Okay, so they start to inbreed in Africa. Good. Eastern Neanderthal, which is called Denisovan. Okay, Denisovan. Right. 50,000 years ago, the new DNA research finds remains of a 13-year-old girl from Denisova cave in Siberia who was half Neanderthal and half Denisovan. This is number 2 right here. Okay. So if this is 50,000 years ago, some of these people in Africa are not even fully humans. Holy shit. Tribal warfare. Human and Denisovan. 40,000 years ago, human reach Papua New Guinea, bring in Denisovan genes with them. Something's going on here. This is number 3. So you guys are smarter than me. You'll research this more. Human and Western Neanderthal. 40,000 years ago, DNA from human skeleton in Romania suggested the subject had Neanderthal great-great-grandparents. Holy crap. Denisovan and mystery humanoid. More than 30,000 years ago, ancient genome suggested interbreeding between human-like groups in Europe and Asia. Mm. So here they call it a virus, the poison, quote unquote, mark of the beast here. Modern human, here's the mark of the beast. I'm just kidding, playing words here. I'm taking this shit so lightly because this shit is real. Adaptive protective DNA segment antidote. So now this is my theory. A 4%, so you get a Neanderthal, take this little virus here, like a COVID virus, and you attach it to a human. Now, when they look through their looking glass, they see black people. They see the destructive one. That's why I created genetic, karmatic reaction. That's what I call racism, or the root of it. They see us through this genes, and we are humans. We're the ones that cause them to be wiped out because these genes remember their history. Genes remember, it records information, and it makes a decision emotionally, systematically. So that's my hypothesis. That's my whole thing. And I want you guys to look more into this because I truly feel when you lynch someone from a tree and look at the body and not feel any kind of remorse, when 200,000 die in Haiti, when black people die and the bodies are all jumbled up, something is to be said. Why are these people don't feel any way when they kill us or when we're in prison? Why black life doesn't really matter? And I think the reason why our life doesn't matter is because of this percentage of Neanderthal mix. It activates. It's like a virus. It's like a hate virus. It's like a differentiator. If you're not fully human, you can't be equal. So when I did my blood work, there's a low percentage that I have. So this is what my hypothesis, this is what I'm going to, that we're not equal. And because we're not equal, fighting for equality, on what level? So the brothers who protect yourself, arm yourself, and educate your family. And when you're on Tapvideo, search for genetics or genes and look at those videos. Something is going on here, people, and we have to look deeper into it. This is bigger than law. Let us all get along. Bullshit. One love. Bullshit. Winnie Mandela, right attitude. Okay? Khalid Muhammad, right attitude. Malcolm X, right attitude. MLK, great work. This shit is real. Get out. And if you're staying, change the laws. Change the Constitution. The only way we're going to win this shit is when we rewrite the Constitution. When we start to look at them and call them out for what they are, they're not fully humans. So if they're not fully humans and their intent is to wipe us out with either HIV, Ebola, why are we just going to sit down and scream equality when we're not equal? The Asians know something we do not know. Or some of us don't want to know. Are some of us who are so mixed up, we don't give a shit anymore. Because our genes won't allow us. We all want to stay together and work together. But the reality is, by law, something is happening, and it's causing the death and destruction of an entire species or people. African people are subjected to slavery, economical, emotional trauma, and no one is speaking about this on a higher level. Genetically, we have to separate ourselves and know that we're different. Screw your one love. You can't keep killing us and say, let's just feel all right. Let's just forgive. You know, it's just to forgive and we're going to change. And the reason they protest with us, because they know they don't want us to know this. that they're not like us. And when these genes activate in them, they will lie. People, these things are not humans. They are Neanderthal humans. I did this for Floyd, so there will be no more Floyd. Something is wrong here. It's deeper than just a shade of skin. It's a genetic difference. We're not the same as these species. They're not here to love us. They're here to love themselves. They're not the same spiritual being as we are. We have to protect ourselves and our little black girl babies. They've lynched enough of us. They've killed enough of us. They've locked enough of us in prisons. We have to protect ourselves. This is the tree, okay? Get to Africa. Get out. Get out. Enough is enough. Let them keep their world. We don't need their material things. What we need is love. Those who show us love. No fake love. Don't come into our village and take the shit over. We need to love ourselves. That's the love we need. We need love of self. And we need to know who we are. We're not like them. We're human beings that like to do human things. We make music. We dance with drums. We like to dance like humans. Most of these motherfuckers cannot dance. Did I curse? Yeah, I had to put that in there. They can't dance because that's what humans do. We dance. We make music. African Americans, that's what you do. You make music. African Americans, you've done the greatest thing in the human race. You've made music. Africans, that's what you spend most of your time on the earth doing. Being human. And you look at another species, what do they spend most of the time on the earth doing? Killing, destroying, hoarding. We care, we share. And they've taught us their system. You see, so before Slavery 2.0, if you don't wake up and protect your family, know this chart very well. This is one of the main reasons why our resources are being taken. This is what's going on. This is real, people. And you're going to continue to see the oppression of the human beings by these other species. Australia was taken. The Caribbean was taken. They took everything. The British, the French, and now the Asians are coming for Africa. Where do you stand? Kumbaya? Let's just get along. One love. Wake up, identify who you are, and spread the message.